What does it actually mean to be a master of torque? For over 2 decades, Yamaha has promised us a specific kind of violence. Motorcycles that prioritize raw, low-end punch over top-speed vanity. But not every machine with an MT badge has lived up to that legend. Behind the alien-style headlights and the aggressive marketing, there is a family tree filled with both engineering miracles and corporate embarrassments. Today, we are cutting through the hype to rank the Yamaha MT lineup from the absolute worst to the undisputed best. We're going to show you which machines are pure mechanical soul and which ones are just clever tax loopholes and overpriced illusions. From the vibrating madness of the original single cylinders to the superbike-killing SP models, we reveal the exact specs and the brutal truth. Number 10, the Yamaha MT25, the identity crisis. You want a lightweight street fighter to carve up city traffic, but you live in a country with restrictive engine displacement taxes. Yamaha decided to build a motorcycle for your tax bracket, and in doing so, they created a pointless machine. Produced from 2015 to the present for the Indonesian and domestic Japanese markets, the MT25 is the worst iteration of the Master of Torque family. It is a motorcycle suffering from a massive, fatal identity crisis. The engineering is a masterclass in corporate corner cutting. Yamaha took the tubular steel diamond frame, the suspension, and the heavy bodywork designed for the larger 321 cubic centimeter engine, and they bolted a smaller, restricted engine inside of it. This means you are carrying all the heavy, gravitational mass of a larger motorcycle without possessing the horsepower required to propel it forward. The tech specs define pure sluggishness. It utilizes a 250 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled parallel twin engine. It produces a pathetic 35 horsepower and 17 pound-feet of torque. Because it is saddled with the heavier frame, it weighs an unacceptable 365 pounds fueled. The max speed is a struggling, breathless 105 miles per hour, but reaching that speed requires a massive downhill straightaway and a strong tailwind. New prices in the Asian markets demand the equivalent of $4,500. Used prices sit around $2,500. The demographic consists of riders forced into this displacement category by oppressive government tax regulations. For the rest of the globe, this motorcycle is outclassed, out-accelerated, and out-handled by the MT-03 in every conceivable category. It is pointless in a world where the MT-03 exists. Do not import one. The MT-25 is a heavy tax loophole, but what happens when Yamaha tries to shrink the Master of Torque attitude down to a microscopic single-cylinder engine? Number 9 looks mean, but feels fragile. Number 9, the Yamaha MT-15, the smallest sibling. You live in the dense, gridlocked streets of Bangkok or Manila. You need a machine that can filter through millions of cars, but you still want to look like you are riding a heavy street fighter. Yamaha built a brilliant illusion. Produced from 2018 to the present, the Yamaha MT-15 is the smallest sibling in the global lineup. It is a massive sales success in Southeast Asia. But if you attempt to ride this machine on the fast-paced, sprawling highways of America or Europe, you're going to feel terrified and vulnerable. The visual design is deceptive. From 10 feet away, it looks like its larger 900 cubic centimeter brothers. It features the alien-style projector headlight, the muscular faux air intakes, and a Delta box-style frame. But underneath the plastic fairings, it utilizes a microscopic engine block. To give it some semblance of power, Yamaha equipped it with variable valve actuation. This system shifts the camshaft lobes at high revolutions per minute to squeeze every last drop of power out of the tiny cylinder. The tech specs reveal the lack of muscle. It features a 155 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine. It produces 19 horsepower and 10.8 pound-feet of torque. It weighs a feather-light 293 pounds wet. The max speed is an aerodynamically limited 85 miles per hour. If you take this onto an American interstate, massive semi-trucks will blow you off the road. New prices in its target markets demand the equivalent of $3,000. Used prices hover around $1,800. The demographic is urban commuters in developing nations who value extreme fuel efficiency, crossing 100 miles per gallon over high-speed stability. While the value for money is decent for crowded Asian cities, the performance isn't enough for the open highway. It is an entertaining toy, but it lacks the brute force to be called a true master of torque. The MT-15 is too small for the highway. But what if we travel back in time to the genesis of the MT brand, where Yamaha experimented with a massive, vibrating single-cylinder engine? Number 8 is a forgotten mechanical nightmare. Are you riding a small displacement commuter bike and dreaming of heavy metal? Tell me in the comments what you are riding today. And if you demand the ruthless, unedited truth about motorcycle engineering, smash that subscribe button right now. Let us dig into the archives. Number 8, the Yamaha MT-03 660 cubic centimeter single, 2006. You want a motorcycle that looks like a custom-built concept vehicle. You want styling, but you do not care if the engine vibrates your hands numb after 30 minutes of riding. Yamaha built a strange, flawed experiment. Produced from 2006 to 2014, the original iteration of the MT-03 is the forgotten member of the family. Before Yamaha perfected the parallel twin, they decided to build a massive, heavy single-cylinder street fighter. It was a bizarre architectural experiment that failed to capture the global market. The engineering on this machine is visually fascinating, but mechanically flawed. Yamaha utilized a heavy, tubular steel diamond frame, but the strangest design choice was the rear suspension. Instead of mounting the rear shock behind the engine, Yamaha mounted the shock absorber horizontally on the right side of the engine block, exposing it to the elements and the rider's leg. They routed the exhaust pipes under the seat, generating massive amounts of heat beneath the rider's tailbone. The tech specs highlight primitive, vibrating power. It utilized the Minarelli-built 660 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine pulled from the XT660 Dual Sport. It produced 45 horsepower and 42 pound-feet of torque. Because of the heavy steel frame and the dual under-seat exhausts, it weighed a massive 428 pounds fueled. The max speed pushed the unaerodynamic chassis to 100 miles per hour, but taking a massive single-cylinder engine to that speed feels like holding on to an industrial jackhammer. New prices in 2006 commanded $7,000. Today, used prices for these rare oddities sit around $3,500. The demographic consisted of quirky, artistic riders who valued unique aesthetic design over refined performance. They loved the immediate punch of the massive single cylinder, but they hated the vibrations that blurred the rearview mirrors. It was an interesting architectural experiment, but it was slow, flawed, and expensive to maintain compared to its modern successors. It is obsolete. The original 03 vibrated itself to death. But what happens when European teenagers are forced to ride small engines and Yamaha decides to exploit their wallets? Number 7 is a financial trap. Number 7, the Yamaha MT 125, the entry ticket. You are a 16-year-old rider in Europe. The government restricts you to riding a motorcycle with 15 horsepower. Yamaha knows you want to look like a professional street racer, so they built a motorcycle that looks like a superbike, but performs like a lawnmower, and they charge you a massive premium for the illusion. Produced from 2014 to the present, the Yamaha MT 125 is the ultimate one-license loophole for European teenagers. It is arguably the best-looking, best-built motorcycle in its restricted class. But the financial reality of this machine is predatory. Yamaha over-engineered the chassis to justify the massive price tag. They gave it a high-end steel delta box frame, massive 41mm inverted front forks, and a radial-mounted front brake caliper. If you look at the suspension and the braking hardware, you would assume this motorcycle produces 100 horsepower, but it does not. It is over-chassised for the pathetic engine sitting inside it. The tech specs define the strict European legal limits. It features a 125 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine equipped with variable valve actuation. It produces 15 horsepower and 8.5 pound-feet of torque. It weighs 308 pounds wet. The max speed is a restricted 75 miles per hour. New prices demand an absurd $5,500. Used prices hold strong at $3,800 because teenagers need them to pass their licensing tests. The demographic is wealthy European parents buying their teenagers a safe, legal, and visually stunning first motorcycle. It is the best in its restrictive class. The build quality is fantastic, but the price is absurd for a 125 cubic centimeter engine. You are paying for the visual aesthetics of a large motorcycle without any of the muscle to back it up. The price-to-performance ratio is off. The European teenagers are being robbed. But what if you want a legitimate, modern, entry-level twin-cylinder that you can ride on the American interstate? Number 6 is rock solid. but it lacks a terrifying soul. Number 6. The Yamaha MT-03 321 cubic centimeter twin modern. You are a brand new rider. You are terrified of making a financial mistake. You want a motorcycle that will start every morning, never leak a drop of oil, and commute to your university classes. Yamaha built the ultimate safe choice. Produced from 2016 to the present, the modern iteration of the Yamaha MT-03 is the backbone of motorcycle safety schools and entry-level showrooms across the globe. It is a competent, perfect machine that fails to excite the hardcore enthusiast. Yamaha took their legendary, class-dominating YZF-R3 sport bike, stripped away the plastic aerodynamic fairings, and bolted on a comfortable tubular handlebar. It features a traditional tubular steel diamond frame and non-adjustable inverted front forks. The engineering is not exotic. It is proven, mass-produced, and built to survive novice riders stalling the engine and dropping the clutch. The tech specs provide smooth, predictable acceleration. It features a 321 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled parallel twin engine. It produces 42 horsepower and 21 pound-feet of torque. It transfers power through a forgiving 6-speed gearbox. It weighs a manageable 373 pounds fueled. The max speed pushes the unaerodynamic chassis to 110 miles per hour, making it capable of surviving the fast-paced American interstate system without vibrating to pieces. New prices demand a reasonable $4,999. Used prices are attractive, sitting around $3,500 for clean, low-mileage examples. The demographic consists of pragmatic, logical beginners and economical city commuters. They do not want to execute massive wheelies. They want affordable, reliable transportation that looks mean. It is a rock-solid entry-level motorcycle. It does everything well. It is reliable, predictable, and affordable. However, it lacks that edge that defines the Master of Torque brand. It is the sensible, intelligent choice, but it is a bit boring. The modern 03 is sensible and safe. But what happens when the Yamaha engineers decide to build the most irresponsible, heavy, massive, and torquey motorcycle in the history of the company? Number 5 is a mechanical Leviathan. We are entering the realm of the cult legends. If you have ever owned a massive, heavy metal V-twin, drop a comment below and tell me how much it weighed. And do not forget to subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into automotive history. Let us look at the monster. Number 5, the Yamaha MT1, the cult hero. You despise modern high-revving plastic sport bikes. You want a machine that feels like a massive block of heavy cast iron. You want a motorcycle with an engine so large that it dictates how the chassis corners. Yamaha engineered a rolling earthquake. Produced from 2005 to 2012, the Yamaha MT1 is a legend in the motorcycle community. It was an unhinged concept motorcycle that bypassed the corporate accountants and made it to the assembly line. It is the grandfather of the modern MT lineage. The engineering is staggering. Yamaha took the colossal, vibrating V-twin engine from their heavy Roadstar Warrior Cruiser, modified the internal crankshaft and cylinder heads to make it rev faster, and shoved it into a bespoke aluminum sports frame. They bolted on the elite suspension and massive radial brakes from the YZF-R1 superbike just to possess the ability to stop the massive gravitational mass. The design features a sculpted fuel tank and 2 massive bazooka-style titanium exhaust mufflers dominating the rear section. The tech specs define unadulterated low-end violence. It featured a 1,670 cubic centimeter air-cooled pushrod V twin engine. It produced 90 horsepower, but the terrifying metric was the 110 pound-feet of torque, available practically at idle. It weighed a crushing 584 pounds fueled. The max speed was a heavy, wind-blasting 130 miles per hour, but top speed was irrelevant. This machine was about ripping the rear tire loose from 0 to 60. New prices in 2005 demanded $13,000. Today, used prices have skyrocketed because it is a coveted collector's item. Pristine examples command over $10,000 on the global market. The demographic consisted of alpha riders who possessed immense physical upper body strength. The MT1 handled like a runaway freight train. You could not flick it into tight corners. You had to wrestle it. It is heavy, it is clumsy, and it possesses the wide turning radius of a commercial bus. But that massive 1.7-liter V-twin engine is pure mechanical emotion. It doesn't rank higher because it cannot keep up with modern sport bikes in the twisty canyons, and it has become expensive on the used market. It is not a precision motorcycle, but it is a legendary icon. The MT1 relied on massive cruiser displacement. But what happens when Yamaha decides to strip the plastic fairings off their championship-winning superbike and sell it to the street hooligans? The machine at number 4 is a terrifying weapon. Number 4, the Yamaha MT10, the R1 in a t-shirt. You are an experienced rider. You are exhausted by standard screaming inline-4 engines. You demand the deep, throaty, traction-finding torque of an exotic V4, but you demand the unmatched reliability of a Japanese engine. Yamaha handed you the holy grail of internal combustion. Produced from 2016 to the present, the Yamaha MT10 redefined the modern hyper-naked muscle bike category. It is a Yamaha R1 superbike wearing comfortable street clothes. The chassis is an unadulterated racing weapon. It utilizes the short, rigid cast aluminum Delta box frame pulled from the R1 track bike. It features adjustable KYB suspension and massive, radial-mounted 4-piston brake calipers. But the defining feature of this motorcycle is the SEPA 4 cross-plane crankshaft. Instead of the pistons firing in a traditional up-and-down sequence, the cross-plane crank offsets the connecting rod journals at 90 degrees. This complex, uneven firing order eliminates inertial engine torque. It provides the rider with a direct, telepathic connection between the throttle grip and the rear tire contact patch. The tech specs define hyper-naked supremacy. It features a 998 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled cross-plane inline-4 engine. It produces an earth-shattering 160 horsepower and 82 pound-feet of torque. It weighs 467 pounds fueled. The max speed is a blistering 155 miles per hour. The cross-plane engine produces an exhaust note that sounds identical to an exotic, high-dollar American V8 muscle car, echoing off the surrounding buildings. It is arguably the best-sounding engine on the modern market. New prices demand $14,499. Used prices hover around $9,000 for older, early generation models. The demographic consists of street hooligans, stunt riders, and former superbike owners who can no longer endure the painful, hunched-over racing posture of a dedicated track bike. It is an unapologetic hooligan machine. It misses the top 3 for 2 specific reasons. First, it is inefficient, drinking premium gasoline faster than a mid-sized SUV. Second, on the base models, the LCD dashboard and the electronics feel a bit dated for the heavy premium price tag. It is the ultimate street brawler, but your wallet will feel the pain at the fuel pump. The MT10 is a brilliant hyper-naked, but it is heavy and expensive. What if Yamaha built a lighter, cheaper machine with an engine so torquey that it redefined the entire middleweight category? Prepare for the triple threat at number 3. Number 3, the Yamaha MT-09, the triple threat. You want a motorcycle that demands your respect. You want a machine so lightweight and powerful that the front wheel lifts off the asphalt in the first 3 gears. Yamaha engineered a torque monster. Produced from 2014 to the present, the Yamaha MT-09 shocked the global motorcycle industry when it originally debuted. However, the early generations suffered from harsh, snatchy throttle mapping and soft pogo stick suspension, but we are ranking the modern era. Since the major engine update in 2021, this machine has become an apex predator. The modern iteration utilizes an advanced, lightweight, controlled-fill die-cast aluminum frame. Yamaha shaved every ounce of unnecessary weight from the chassis, including developing specialized spin-forged aluminum wheels that reduce unsprung rotational mass. But the beating heart of this machine is the CP3 engine. It is a 3-cylinder engine utilizing a 120-degree crankshaft. It combines the low-end grunt of a twin-cylinder with the high-revving, top-end horsepower rush of an inline-4. The tech specs are lethal. Since the update, it features an 890 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled inline triple engine. It produces 119 horsepower and 69 pound-feet of torque. But the critical, class-dominating metric is the mass. It weighs a featherlight 419 pounds fueled. The max speed is a fast 140 miles per hour, but top speed is irrelevant. This machine dominates from 0 to 100 faster than almost anything in its price bracket. New prices sit at a reasonable $10,500. Used prices for the updated 890 cubic centimeter models command roughly $8,000. The demographic consists of skilled street riders who demand agility. It is the ultimate weapon for carving tight mountain canyons and executing massive, controlled wheelies. Since the 890 cubic centimeter update, this is nearly the perfect motorcycle. The power to weight to price ratio is unmatched in the industry. It is aggressive, lightweight, and sounds incredible. It is the most exciting, adrenaline-fueled motorcycle you can buy for under $10,000. The 09 is the ultimate middleweight. But what happens when you take the massive 160 horsepower engine from the MT10 and fix every flaw by throwing expensive Swedish suspension at it? Number 2 is the ultimate weapon. We have reached the summit of Yamaha engineering. If you are blown away by these hyper-nakeds, drop a like right now. Let us look at the final boss of the naked bike world. Number 2, the Yamaha MT 10SP, the final boss. You are an experienced, wealthy rider. You refuse to compromise. You want the comfortable, upright seating position of a street fighter. But you demand the elite, expensive suspension components of a world superbike racing machine. You refuse to ride a cheap, bouncing pogo stick. Yamaha built the final boss just for you. Produced from 2017 to the present, the Yamaha MT 10SP is the pinnacle of the Yamaha naked lineup. It takes the brutal, gas-guzzling crossplane engine of the standard MT10 and elevates the entire chassis into the stratosphere of exotic European performance. The standard MT10 is a formidable street roller, but the stock suspension components wilt under heavy track abuse. The SP model ditches the standard Japanese suspension. Instead, Yamaha partnered with the legendary Swedish suspension manufacturer Öhlins. They equipped the SP with advanced, semi-active Öhlins electronic suspension. This is no gimmick. This complex system utilizes internal computers and sensors to calculate the speed, lean angle, and braking force of the motorcycle thousands of times a second. In a traditional fork, the oil flows through a fixed metal shim stack. On the SP, electronic step motors adjust the hydraulic damping valves inside the front forks and the rear shock in real time. If you hit a massive highway pothole, the suspension softens in a fraction of a millisecond, providing a flawless, carpet-like ride on the asphalt. When you grab a handful of front brake entering a tight canyon corner, the fork valves stiffen, providing razor-sharp, rigid support under heavy track braking. It is pure mechanical magic. They upgraded the braking system. Standard rubber brake hoses expand like balloons when the brake fluid boils, leaving you with a terrifying, squishy lever. Yamaha installed stainless steel braided brake lines from the factory to cure the spongy brake feel of the base model, delivering immediate, crushing stopping power. The tech specs remain brutal. It utilizes the same 998 cubic centimeter crossplane inline 4 pulled straight from the R1 track weapon. The crossplane crankshaft staggers the firing order, sending traction-finding pulses to the rear tire. It hooks up to the pavement and launches you forward. It produces 160 horsepower and 82 pound-feet of torque. It weighs 472 pounds wet. The engine screams like an American V8 muscle car, guzzling fuel at an alarming rate. The max speed remains a violent 155 miles per hour. You will need massive physical neck strength to hold on against the wind blast. New prices command a massive premium, demanding $17,199. Used prices for the modern SP iteration sit around $13,000. Maintenance costs on electronic suspension will drain your wallet, but you pay for supremacy. What kind of rider owns this? The demographic consists of veteran riders with large bank accounts who want to embarrass exotic Italian superbikes at local track days, and then ride home on the highway without visiting a chiropractor. It fixes everything the standard MT10 lacked. The upgraded full-color TFT modern display replaces the archaic calculator screen found on base models. With the semi-active Öhlins suspension, it is a mechanical masterpiece. Yes, it is expensive, but you get uncompromised superbike performance combined with naked bike comfort. It is the best all-rounder for the experienced rider who refuses to compromise. The MT10SP is the most expensive and advanced, but it is not the most important. The machine sitting at number 1 did not just win a spec sheet battle, it revolutionized the global motorcycle industry and sold hundreds of thousands of units. Prepare for the king. Number 1, the Yamaha MT-07, the king of value. We have reached the summit. The number 1 undisputed, most important, and most successful motorcycle in the modern history of the Yamaha Motor Corporation is the Yamaha MT-07. Produced from 2014 to the present, this motorcycle saved the middleweight category. Following the global financial crisis, the motorcycle industry was struggling. Motorcycles were becoming too expensive, too reliant on fragile electronics, and too boring. Manufacturers tried to sell fragile rolling computers to compensate for lazy engineering. Yamaha rejected that lie. They stripped away the unnecessary computers, fired the software engineers, engineered a brilliant engine, and delivered the ultimate budget street fighter. The engineering genius of the 07 lies in its aggressive simplicity. It utilizes a cost-effective tubular steel frame and basic, non-adjustable front suspension. Spoiled motorcycle journalists complained about the soft forks. Let them complain. Yamaha saved money on the chassis components so they could dump their entire research and development budget into the engine. As a mechanic, I respect this choice. You can upgrade budget suspension with heavy-duty springs for a few $100s, and you cannot fix a boring, lifeless engine block. The beating heart is the legendary CP2 engine. It features a 270-degree crankshaft. This specific uneven firing order gives the parallel twin engine the deep, throaty, aggressive exhaust rumble of an American V-twin, combined with massive, instant low-end torque. It eradicated the boring, high-pitched whine of traditional parallel twins. It hooks up to the pavement and lifts the front wheel in the first 3 gears without breaking a sweat. The tech specs define the ultimate power-to-weight ratio for the working class. It utilizes a 689 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled parallel twin engine. It produces 74 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. The critical defining metric is the weight. It weighs a light 403 pounds fueled. You do not need a massive leader bike when your chassis weighs nothing. The max speed pushes the lightweight chassis to 130 miles per hour, providing plenty of thrust for highway passing. New prices sit at an accessible $8,199. Used prices define the used market, commanding $5,000 for clean, older examples. You pay pennies for superbike thrills. What kind of rider owns this? Everyone. It is the perfect first big bike for a beginner, and it possesses enough torque to keep a 30-year veteran entertained. It is the universal motorcycle. You see them at tight track days, you see them commuting in heavy traffic, you see them stunting in empty parking lots. The undisputed #1. Why? Because it changed the global industry. The CP2 engine is bulletproof, surviving 80,000 miles with basic oil changes. You never have to split the engine cases. You never have to rebuild the transmission. The low-end torque is addictive, and it is affordable that almost any working-class rider can swing a leg over it. It is the best value for money proposition in Yamaha's corporate history. It is the specific bike that wins every automotive magazine shootout because it delivers on its promise for a massive fraction of the competitor's price. It is the king. Click on the next video in order to continue the ride. Subscribe to our channel so you won't miss the road trip.